All right, hey everybody, Miss Lynch here. Hopefully you can hear me this time. Hold on, I have to do this or I will only see it when I look into the screen. Okay, all right. So this is for my 11 o'clock class because we were having technical difficulties. So I'm just gonna make a video for you guys just running through exactly what I was gonna do today, except for our actual chapter lecture, and I will send you to that video to watch that afterwards because I already recorded it. So, okay, what I was going to talk about today, I was going to go through the rough draft instructions because that's the next stage of research. I'm going to talk about the movie assignment real quick, and then I'm going to talk about the museum visit assignment also. Okay, so this should be a shorter video. Okay. Before I really get going, if you need to cue these things up so you can see them while I talk about them, go ahead and do that. So on D2L, pull up your research instructions, and that's going to be the first thing that I talk about, okay? So if you have that packet pulled up, it should be in content, and then research instructions, or research project, and then the instruction packet. So if you'll scroll down to where it says rough draft, everybody should have their, if you turn in your outline, I've gotten it graded and back to you. So moving forward, just take that outline and start filling in all the gaps, okay? Our rough draft is going to be 3 pages. It says 4 on the instructions, but remember I shaved off that extra page. So 3 pages, double spaced. So please go ahead and make sure that you have your bibliography with it. Go ahead and have your in-text citations in there, okay? And just start working on that. It's going to be due October 2nd, so I think that's next Friday. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about it now. But look at those instructions if you need it. Work on it. Especially this weekend is your time to do it, okay? And if you have any questions, if you're stuck in any way, give me a shout, okay? Send me an email. Okay, so that's, I don't have detailed instructions about it because it's a rough draft. Just start, filling it out. Give me paragraphs, but if it's not perfect, that's okay. Okay, so that's research stuff. Okay, the next thing I want to look at is the movie assignment. So pull up those instructions if you need to. And the first thing you'll see is that this is due on October 30th. So this is after, we're not really having a fall break, but this would be after fall break. So you have a little bit of time, but it also involves you watching 2 movies. So give yourself enough room to work with that, okay? And what I'm going to ask you guys to do is to pick 2 movies from this list that I've provided. And kind of the only hitch, which we might have to get a little creative. Okay. I'm asking that you guys pick movies that relate to your topic, okay? And if these movies don't relate to your topic, at least try to get it in the time period of your research, okay? So, let's talk about medical stuff in the American Revolution, since, a few of us are doing projects like that. You're probably not going to find movies about nurses during the American Revolution, which is fine. Just try to, find a couple of other movies that are from reflecting that same time period, okay? If you're totally stuck, email me. I will gladly look at this list and try to find some stuff. A lot of these movies you probably haven't heard of. A lot of them are older. That's fine. But the way you can find out what is available online for you to watch is just type in the title plus streaming, and if you're on Google, it will just send you, it will just post all of the platforms that you can find stuff. Okay, so if you guys don't know, that's what I would do if you emailed me. So just being totally honest and transparent. So you can, just type in a movie title plus streaming, see what is available right now. See what you can find through the library, UCO's library, the Metro library system. But what you're gonna do is find your 2 movies and watch them, okay? take notes while you're watching them, and then you're going to give me really a compare and contrast, all right? So the reason I ask you guys to use your topic as a scope is to help you limit what movies you choose from to make sure that they relate to one another, okay? So when this is said and done, you will have a 2-page paper, double-spaced, okay? And like I said, it's a compare and contrast. So I have it broken down what the sections will be, but let's just pretend these are paragraphs. So your first paragraph will be a description of the first movie you choose. And then your second paragraph will be a description of the actual events that your movie is describing. So if it's like a battle, tell me about that actual battle and what really happened, okay? So paragraph 1, paragraph 2, and then paragraphs 3 and 4, you'll do the same thing with movie 2. So tell me about the movie, tell me about the real events, all right? And then your next paragraph to 2 paragraphs is your compare and contrast, okay? So I've given you some prompts to or 8 full paragraphs is what I'm asking for, 2 full pages, all right? But, so look at these things that I'm asking you to answer. This should give you 2 pages pretty easily, honestly. Below this it says that you'll give a 5-minute summary in class. We're not going to do that. It'll be too discombobulated via Zoom, I think. So skip that part. You'll just send it to me with the PDF attachment, as we're doing. And really the only thing I ask is that, it needs to be like a historical film. So it's most likely going to be a drama. So no documentaries, no musicals, no television series, unless there's kind of one instance that it works. If you were talking about slavery, the series Roots could work as a substitute for a movie if you picked 2 episodes from it. But that's the only television series that is applicable. Otherwise, please choose from this list. Or if you think of something that's not on this list, you have to email me and get it. You got to get an okay from me first, because there's a decent chance that I thought of that movie and for one reason or another, I didn't choose it. Mostly movies that have been presented to me that I've been like, yeah, I decided not to choose that because a lot of times they're British. That's just something simple that this is a U.S. history class. I'm just going to keep it American, even though for us we're going back to the British era. But anyway, so if you have something, the long and short of that is if you have an idea that's not on this list, just ask me first, okay? If you go ahead and start writing your paper about something that was not okayed, I'm not going to be super happy about it, okay? Because I'm asking you nicely right now to let me know, okay? But, so read through these instructions if you haven't looked at it yet, and make sure you're comfortable with the process. Email me any questions you have, and yeah, you've got all of October to work on this, okay? So do it sooner rather than later. Take a little pressure off yourselves, all right? Okay, so that's the movie assignment. And then the last thing I want to talk about is the museum visit. What do I have it listed as? Virtual museum visit assignment, okay? This is due on our last day of class, I do believe. Okay, but yeah, this will be due in December. So you've got time to work on it. Like I said, do it sooner rather than later. Don't wait until finals week to do this. It's just going to stress you out, and there's no need for it. But basically what I'm asking you guys to do, again, keeping your research topic as your scope. And if this were a normal semester, I would ask you to go visit a museum, walk through the gallery, tell me what you think. But since we can't do that, we're going to make it virtual, okay? I guess you guys can go visit museums if you want. They're slowly starting to reopen. I work at the Oklahoma History Center, and it is open and empty because people aren't going. So if you want to go visit a museum, by all means, go do that. It just has to tie into your research topic in a way. which if that's tricky, let me know and we can find something together. But I want you guys to find an exhibit online. So whenever you're thinking, well, what museums do I even look for? Okay, the museums that are the biggest and have the most funding are going to be the most likely to be able to afford to digitize all this stuff and have online exhibits. So think of the biggest museums, the Smithsonian Institute, okay? Yeah, that would actually, I really encourage you guys, if you don't know where to start there. The Museum of American History would have some stuff. So just look at their website. You know, there's usually a e-exhibit or virtual exhibit kind of prompt. But so find a museum, find an online exhibit that somehow relates to your research topic, and then you're going to quote unquote visit it, all right? So you'll go through, read these instructions first, and then you're going to look at this exhibit and, you know, give me a nice summary of it. So again, this will be 2 pages, double spaced. And whenever you're doing this, you will see on D2L that I have 2 documents up. One is the instructions, and then the other is a worksheet. And it's in 2 columns. So one side represents traditional museums, the other side represents reinvented museums. So print this out, have it next to you, and while you're looking at that exhibit online, I want you to go through, so look at like each row. Okay, so columns, rows, okay? Our columns go down, our rows go across. But so go down each row and look at each side of this and determine if you think that your museum is reinvented or traditional. Okay? Our first one here is values. You probably need to look at the museum's mission statement. Every museum has a mission statement which talks about why they exist, what they're trying to do, their scope of research, what they focus on, okay? And those are their values, okay? So you can look at a mission statement and see what a museum is saying they're supposed to be doing. And then whenever you look at your exhibit, say, well, are they doing that, or are they, you know, going off in left field and doing something totally different? So are their values in that mission statement, are they upholding that? Are those their core tenets, or has that been pushed to the side? Or does it become secondary? Okay? No wrong answer. It's up to you. It's your perspective. But so go through each one of those and then go down to, do they have an institutional viewpoint? Which means what most old school museums are doing, which is, here are the facts and we're presenting them to you, the American public, okay? So our second line, institutional viewpoint or a global perspective, which is what I've been talking about all semester, giving a holistic, well-rounded approach to history, okay? So just start working your way through, no wrong answers, like I said, okay? Whenever you get to the bottom of the list, I want you guys to add up your totals, see which column has the most, okay? And then tell me, is your museum that you visited, is it traditional or is it reinvented, okay? Looking at that right now, it's probably not going to make much sense to you, and you're going to be like, what on earth is she asking me to do? But once you find your museum, find your exhibit that you're going to look at, and you actually start going through it, these points will reveal themselves, okay? So if looking at these terms, if you're like, I do not understand what a word of this means, don't worry about it just yet. Wait until you're actually looking at your museum, okay? Also, if you're not super comfortable or knowledgeable of museum verbiage, I have some quick terms listed right here on the instruction page. So it's like an artifact goes in an exhibit, which goes in a gallery, which goes in a museum. Okay, so I have those broken down. So hopefully that will help you guys. Before you get going on your museum visit, I have a link on the instructions, how to visit an art museum. Look at that, please. It just tells you basic information that you should have before you get going, okay? Okay, so that's that in a nutshell. Like I said, it's not due till December, but I encourage you, you could turn it in this week and get it out of your hair as far as I'm concerned if you want. It's never too early. So All right, I know that that's kind of a lot to throw at you guys, 3 assignments worth of instructions at once. But that's what I was going to go over today, and then I was going to get into chapter 5, which launches us into the American Revolution. So since I cannot do that right now, I would like for you all to please watch the YouTube videos I put up, chapter 5, part 1 and part 2. All right, and then hopefully by our next meeting, fingers crossed, we'll see. Any tech issues in here will be solved, and then we can move forward. I can hit on anything that I needed to, because I was hoping to talk about the Revolutionary War today, because it's kind of an important part of our history. But that's okay. It's 2020 and things happen. So we're going to be gentle with ourselves and move forward. So if you guys will read chapter 5 if you haven't, watch the videos that I put up. I want you to see the lecture that I was going to give, so please watch that. If you have any questions, email me, and then next week I will get into chapter 6, so go ahead and read that. I will be getting PowerPoints uploaded over the next few days. So I think that's it for now. Okay, if you guys have anything, let me know, and I will hopefully see you next week, okay? All right, have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Bye.